Welcome back to the Healing Hotline. I'm your host, Jessica Trambarger, and today we're going to be talking about all the lessons that I learned from being broke, aka all the lessons that my Saturn return taught me. Because I have Saturn in the second house. And the second house in astrology is all about your finances. Let's get into it. One of the big lessons that I learned from being broke is that there is always a reason why something costs more. Quality over quantity. And I know that you've probably heard this before, but I have actually lived this, okay? I thought that butter was just butter until you go from Land O'Lakes to Imperial butter and you're like, holy crap, like butter is not just butter, like I need to pay a little bit more for that good butter because it's just that it tastes better. It's like once you've had something of quality and you try to go to the cheaper version because you're trying to save money, you realize like what you're missing out on when you are a cheap ass. But if you've never had anything of quality and you always go for the cheaper version, you're never going to know this, right? So I started off well off. I was making like damn near six figures as a cam girl. Then my spiritual awakening hit. Boom. I no longer wanted to do this shit. I could not energetically put myself in the place to be a cam girl anymore. So I stopped and I said, okay, let me pursue my spiritual gifts. And you know what? We're still pursuing, but it's the money has not came in how I thought. And it's because I started my Saturn return right when that happened. So it basically was all aligned, right? Saturn is the planet of restriction. It is like the planet of restriction and limitations, and you learn a lot of really good lessons that can be applied later on in your life. But while you're going through your Saturn return, there really is no escaping the lessons that you're supposed to learn. And depending on what house your Saturn is in, you're going to receive different lessons, because every house in astrology has different themes. So when you think about it like this, the assignment of Saturn is, okay, whatever area of your life Saturn is in, it has to give you some lessons and you have to be restricted in this area. So finances had to be restricted. It was literally divine timing, I guess, whatever, divine timing, that right when my Saturn return started, I no longer wanted to be a cam girl. I had my spiritual awakening, because essentially that was the manifestation of my finances taking a hit from Saturn return. One of the biggest struggles that I've had throughout this whole Saturn return is like this inner battle within myself of like, damn, like, should I just go back to being a cam girl? Because like, why am I putting myself through all of this stress when it comes to money when I could literally work for a little bit, solve all of my money issues, and then get back to, my spiritual stuff? But it doesn't work like that. It really doesn't work like that. Like when I was making so much money, it was because I had already put in a few years of building my, fan base. Well, honestly, not really. I'm like, really, I could have really just probably hopped back in and started making a bunch of money. But I don't know, like, I just feel like it just wasn't aligned. And also, like, the internet is like internet-ing right now, so like back then I wasn't really on TikTok like that, so like nobody would have been like, oh, aren't you the girl from TikTok, but now, yeah, I'm for certainly sure. So another example of the quality over quantity is like, I bought this like pack, like 3-pack of bras, because I'm like, bro, like I want more bras. Like, let me just get this 3-pack, like a bang for your buck type of thing. Every single one of those bras sucked, okay? And it's happened multiple times. I'll get like things that are cheaper and they just suck. And it's just like, so I might as well just have spent the money to buy that one that was actually gonna last me a while. because the 3-pack didn't last me worth shit. And then I realized that they were underwire bra, and it was just, no, it was just all bad, you know? So quality over quantity, because you end up paying more anyways. You end up paying more anyways, because you're gonna end up needing to buy that thing more frequently than if you were to just have bought that one high quality thing. The high quality things usually last a lot longer. So I have learned that there's always a reason why things are more expensive. Some people do be just price gouging, obviously, but for the most part, the reason why that thing is a little more expensive is because it has better quality, aka better energy, and that's what I want. So quality over quantity is like a giant lesson that I learned from being broke. Okay, when it comes to shifting your mindset about money, you're either all in or you're all out. You cannot half-ass this shit, because the universe knows what's going on in your head. And for the longest time, I would be like trying to like fake it till I make it type of vibes, and you know, just trying to act the part. But in my head, there was still this internal dialogue of like freaking out when certain things came about, and really trying to figure out how I was gonna get money to do this and do that or whatever. And like, that is like your split. Your energy is split, basically. You are not all in. And you can only either be all in or all out. And this is why people don't get results when it comes to manifesting money, is because like they think that like, oh well, I'm doing the things or whatever, but in their head, like their thoughts are trash. Their thoughts are fucking trash. Their thoughts are like constantly freaking out and just like waiting for this money to come that's supposed to change their lives. So you can't freak out about bills. You have to envision yourself as this person that has money. Are you the person that has a shit ton of money? Yes, you should be affirming that, even if you're not currently that person, because how will you ever be that person if you're constantly saying that you're not? You first, then the universe will mirror you. Okay? So stop freaking out about bills, because you are a wealthy person, and wealthy people don't freak out about bills. If the price increased for something, you just say, oh, well, that must mean that I'm gonna start getting more money. That's if things are increasing in price around you, that means that the universe is gonna increase your pay too. That's how you're going to think of things for now on, period. Because you're either all in or you're all out. You either believe that you are wealthy or you don't. There's no half-assing this, or you're gonna get half-ass results. You cannot hate the rich. You cannot say things like eat the rich and all of that shit. Trust me, I used to be that person. I used to be like, oh well, if these billionaires could just give their money to people and blah blah blah, like they could literally solve all the problems in the world and all this shit. And yes and no. At the same time, like there are actually a lot of billionaires that we don't know about. There are a lot of spiritual billionaires that we don't know about because they're really fucking low key. There are tons of billionaires that are not the elites, okay? There are tons of people in this world that have a shit ton of money, which one should tell you just how much money there is in the fucking world if so many people are so fucking rich. Like, you're only probably paying attention to the people that are broke, and that's the issue. Turn your attention away from that shit. If you're not subscribing to the broke shit, don't listen to the broke shit, okay? Like, and this is one that used to get me all the time, was like, I would fantasize about like not having to pay taxes. Like somebody who would just swoop in and just be like, bro, like no more taxes, you know, or like everybody as a society collective, you know, would come together and be like, we're not doing this shit because it's so stupid that we're paying money to people that had no part in us making this money. Why am I giving you some of my money that I worked so hard to earn? You did nothing for it. Like, you're telling me your job is to just literally take some of my money and that's how you live in? What the hell? You see, we're still working on this one because I can't, you know, understand it. But at the same time, like, I'm a multi-billionaire, so I don't worry about that shit. You know what I mean? So my thing is with like saying like rich people could solve poverty and stuff like that is like, I don't think that that's true, because in order for that to be true, then the people that are receiving the money that are in deep poverty would have to be able to sustain and maintain their money and know how to invest it and stuff like that. And in all actuality, if you're deep in the pits of poverty, you're not trying to invest your money. You're trying to spend your money on everything that you think is going to make you happy. Everything that you've been fantasizing about this whole time, about what's going to literally lift you up from this depressed ass place that money has brought you to. I just also feel like, I know that, like I say I'm a multi-billionaire, so like when I have my billions and billions of dollars, I'm not going to want people telling me that the money that I worked so hard to earn, I should be sharing with people who literally don't give a rat's ass about me. Don't give not one fuck about me. That if I didn't have no fucking money, they wouldn't give two shits about me. You know what I mean? So it's like, I mean, just sit with that for a second. Like, you think that like the billionaires should be just handing out their money, but like, what if you had a shit ton of money that you literally worked for? Whether it was like your family working for it and you inherited it or whatever, somebody worked for it. Somebody in your ancestral line worked for that shit to build that shit, and you're just gonna give it away to people that literally don't really care about you, only are looking to you because you have money. That don't sit right with me, So I think that I had to let go of that thought. And you really realizing that like you can't complain. Like, you can complain, but instead of complaining, like get your shit out there, but don't leave it as an empty complaint. Your thoughts are not private, and I think that's a really big one that people need to grasp. It's one that kind of scares people because they're like, oh, my thoughts aren't private. Oh, don't freak out now. They've never been private. Don't freak out now. It's kind of been like this your whole life. That's why the things that happen are the things that happen, because we've low-key been manifesting these things throughout our whole fucking life. I just now realized that my dad taking away my toys and my sports and like my ability to do things when I was younger really impacted me and put me in a state of survival where I don't feel safe with anything that I manifest. I always feel like it's going to get taken away. And it has literally manifested every time. I manifested a big ass fucking house and then I lost it. It was all divine though. It's always all divine. And that's the thing, is like, I realized that house was not really what I wanted. We didn't really vibe with our neighbors. I didn't like living in a cul-de-sac. HOA is fucking bullshit. Like, what? So it was just so many things that I didn't know. I don't want a fucking 2-story house. That shit was way too fucking big and way too much for me to clean. And it was stressing me out because it was not clean, because I was too stressed to be cleaning the whole house at one time. So it was just a lot. And it was a lot of lessons learned, and really there was really no way that I could have learned that I didn't want those things within a home without me being in the home, So it's just one of those things where you take the negative thoughts that you have and take the perception that you have about a situation and transmute it and shift it. Okay, this thing really sucked. This thing really sucked that I went through, but how is it actually helping me? How did it actually help me to grow? What did I learn from it that I could not have learned in any other way? Another lesson that I learned is that if you ain't got no money, you could always clean. I said, if you ain't got no money, you could always clean, okay? Cleanliness is next to godliness, okay? Like, and you have to also think about, like, if you had a shit ton of money, you would have a clean home more than likely. Cleaning is always a really good way to cleanse out the stuck and stagnant energy and bring in some good ass like energy that you actually want. So if you don't have any money, you can always clean, and that's always going to invite in the energy that you do want and help you release the shit that's in your way. And so if you find yourself like in a depressed state of, you know, like being broke, not having no fucking money, and you look around your space and you see that it's messy as fuck, try cleaning up. And I know some people like, oh, I don't even have the energy to clean up. Okay, well, you're gonna have to find it. You're going to have to find it, because I don't know what it is that you're thinking is going to happen. Like that someone is going to magically just push you. But, well, maybe this is me. I'm magically pushing you right now. And I'm telling you, get the fuck up and do some shit about the shit that you're going through, because no one's coming to save you. The person that you're waiting on to save you is literally you. You're the only one who can do anything about your situation. And I know you're thinking, oh, I can't. Yes, you could clean. You could clean. Bare minimum, you could clean. Also, cleaning is going to put you in a meditative state that's going to help you receive messages about what it is that you're supposed to do next. A lot of us are so distracted, we don't want to fucking be with our own thoughts, but that is where the magic comes. That is where you channel. If you just shut everything out and you wait and listen, you'll get something. So I learned a lot of lessons from being broke, and this is definitely a place that I never want to be in again. I'm really grateful for the lessons though, because like I said, these are all things that I could not have learned without going through them. At the end of the day, it's always divine. If you are like, damn, I want to be able to like alchemize and transmute the things that you have been going through, check out my workshop, Survival Mode Off, because I literally walk you through this so many different times and literally using my real life examples. So if you ever wanted to be all up in my business and really see what the fuck I was going through during my Saturn return, check out that workshop, because I literally recorded myself getting out of survival mode, and basically you'll be doing it with me in seemingly real time because it's pre-recorded videos. But yeah, I do that so many times in that workshop, and I show you how to do it, and it's incredible, because once you have the ability to do this, like you're still gonna go through shit. Everyone's gonna go through shit. That's life. But when you go through shit, it don't hit as hard. It's like, okay, that really fucking sucked. Or like, damn, that really fucking hurt. But let's alchemize this energy. Let's transmute this energy. Let's see how life is actually working for me. And knowing that life is actually working for you is such a vital part to this whole spiritual experience. It is such a necessary component in order to really be the creator of your reality. So if you want to take charge, if you want to take the power back in your hands, if you're tired of feeling like a victim to your circumstances, and you have fully literally like you've done all the crying about your situation, you felt your feels, and you're ready to move on to the next phase, that is what turning survival mode off is going to do for you. If you're ready to enroll and you're interested and you want to get more information, you can check that out at thatsoulglow.com. Alrighty, well, that wraps it up for this week's episode. If you guys have anything that you guys want to talk about in regards to healing and spirituality, make sure that you write into the show, thatsoulglow.com/the healing hotline. I'm your host, Jessica Trambarger, signing out.